Broke it, that's a
What's on the
problem.
background? You want?
Now, first of all, can you give me a little Tom Pop, right? Pop, P-O-P-P?
PPP, yeah.
And where do you live?
Where do I live?
Yep.
Up in Sims Township in Ohio.
In Ohio.
Cincinnati.
Now, your role here today, explain that to me.
Just came down to give a speech. They asked me, Vanessa contacted Honor Flight, and asked if we would come down here and give a speech about Honor Flight.
And you've been organizing Honor Flight for how long?
Since 2005.
I was out there one time, it might have been filmed out there, and with the guys coming in at the airport, and I did it on one of my television shows.
It's awesome.
It is awesome.
That's the neatest thing. Those guys never got a proper welcome home.
Yep.
Never.
Yeah.
And that night, they finally get the welcome home. And we try to keep the welcome home a secret
Yep.
every day so that they don't anticipate something,
Yeah.
and just keep it quiet. And we've got one up there's a small welcome home just outside the gate in the terminal. When they get off the airplane, they get their mail call and welcome home. They're told welcome home, welcome home.
Now, if somebody wants to become a part of that, like say if they're still a World War II vet or somebody a vet that wants to be a part of that, what would they do?
All they have to do is apply. If they're a World War II vet, they go right to the top of the list.
Okay.
So World War II vets get online, if they can get online, www.honorflighttristate.org, all one word. Or, you pick up a brochure, we have brochures, or call the office, call the hotline or call our office. Our office number is area code 513-489-2022, and just ask for an application. And we'll, a lot of times an older vet, World War II vet, may not have internet access.
Right.
We'll mail him an application. He can fill it out and mail it back.
But now they have to have a relative that goes with them, right?
They can. They don't have to. We have a list of guardians that'll go with that vet. They'll pay their own way. The vet doesn't pay anything, but the guardian pays. Those people that have signed up to be guardians, they want to pay money to go with that veteran. They'll pay their share.
Wonderful.
So if the vet has a guardian that wants to go, a son, grandson, granddaughter, anything but a spouse, we don't let the spouses, because of the dynamics on the day of the flight.
Right.
But no, if that veteran has a family member that wants to go, or a friend wants to go, that's fine. They pay their own way. If he doesn't have a guardian, we'll provide their guardian.
Oh, that's
And
fantastic.
it's really neat when two people that don't know each other, never met, they get together in the morning of the flight, and they become fast friends.
Oh, wonderful.
And we've had some of the experiences we've had are people have Thanksgiving dinner, they'll have their guardian for Thanksgiving dinner, or the guardian will have the veteran for Thanksgiving dinner, things like that. They become part of the family.
Fantastic.
And that's neat for an older veteran that maybe doesn't have many people anymore. All of a sudden now he's got another family out there that includes him in their family.
Now, in essence, what were the points you were trying to make today in your talk? Any particular information to the public that would be helpful?
Just an overview of Sharon has written two books, Legacy of Courage 1 and Legacy of Courage 2, and they're filled with the stories that we've heard on. We've been on 75 honor flights, so we've encountered 6,500 veterans, and all these men and women tell stories. And so she incorporated those stories in two books.
Come on up here.
The books they're I get wet eyes when I read the book. Cheryl, come on up. This gentleman's interviewing.
Yeah.
He has
So when you,
Where would somebody get the books that you're referring to?
Well, there's a couple places. They are in some of the independent bookstores like Joseph Beth Booksellers in Hyde Park. They're at Lunkin.
And they're titled,
Legacy of Courage. We also have them on our website,
on your website, which is what?
honorflighttristate.org.
Honor Flights, Tri-State.
No S. Honorflight.
Honor Flights.
Tri-State, no dash, .org. And when
Okay.
you go on there, it says there's a tab that says store. You go right to the store, and you can pay for it, and I'll mail them right to you.
Oh, fantastic.
and we have no overhead other than,
They're
sending
stored in our
vets.
basement. Everything's.
Now, this is your wife?
This is my bride, yeah.
Oh, well, wonderful.
I'm her first husband.
And as they say, he like me. Our wives are the smartest move we've made.
Yeah.
I married up, yeah.
I married up myself, and she would tell you.
She'd be first to tell you, right?
June Guyman Stephenson. She does my television show with me. And, well, it's great to talk with you all. Anything else special you want to say to the folks in northern Kentucky?
Just that, well, and as I said in there, Florence, Kentucky started all this.
As far as being cordial to our program.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a church down there that started it, and the honor run was a bunch of guys from Florence that started it, and with the cooperation of Florence and the police and the fire and all of the first responders and everything. I mean, you can't do a race of this size without the cooperation of Florence. And Florence has been absolutely fantastic and very hospitable to the whole, disruption of everything on a Sunday morning. But
And
terrifically,
the honor run has donated, after today, over $220,000 to
Oh,
Honor Flight
praise
Tri-State
the Lord.
for the veterans.
yeah, over 6
Fantastic.
years,
Just for the
that's
vets.
pretty heady.
Yes, it
And
is.
they've been sold out since about August.
Yeah.
They were going to try to make it, they made it some bigger, but with logistics and everything, they keep saying, make it bigger, because it's sold out so fast.
And the other thing that Florence has done for us, as I said, we started in Florence. Our first flight was at a Florence church, in a church parking lot, early, dark 30. And we didn't know what the heck we were doing. And we've changed a lot since then. We've been honored with an award because Honor Flight Tri-State did the first ever in the country law enforcement flight. And that germ of an idea started right here in Florence at the honor run 6 years ago, probably one of the first ones. Because when I walked up and talked to a police officer, and I said, what percentage of police officers are also veterans? He didn't know, so he went to his boss, and they came up, we were talking. Well, out of that conversation, we did the first law enforcement flight, where all the veterans, they were veterans, they were also retired police officers. Their guardians were current police officers. So all the people on the plane were police officers or law enforcement officers.
How wonderful.
What a neat thing. That germ of an idea started right here in Florence, over at Florence Mall.
Fantastic.
And we won the national, every year there's an award for service among all the hubs, and we won that year, the National Service Award for the most unique flight.
Yeah,
So it was pretty cool.
I would say absolutely.
That's Florence, Kentucky.
Florence, Kentucky.
A lot of patriots over here.
A lot of
We
patriots
love
over
it.
here.
We see you, you're one too.
Oh, I did. Well, I love my hat too. And somebody asked me, said, "Did you ever meet him, John?" And I said, "No, I didn't have to." And I said, "Because he's on Twitter constantly."
We all meet him every day.
And I said, "We meet him every day, and
Yeah.
sometimes I cringe, and sometimes I say, 'Praise the Lord,' and pass the ammunition of godly principles."
There you go. Very good, very good.
The heck of it is he's a little crass sometimes, but so am I.
Right.
So are we all.
So are we all.
We're not perfect.
No,
None
none
of us
of
are perfect.
none of us are
And he's not a
perfect.
politician, thank
Yeah,
you very much.
and he's no one controls him.
No.
Isn't that refreshing?
That's a refreshing thing. Having been in Washington myself with Congressman John Breckinridge as his field representative and as administrative assistant years ago, I told somebody, I said, "You don't really understand the deep state. The deep state is real." Because when I was up there, when we tried to get some things done during the energy crisis in the 70s, I said, they would look at me and say, "Mr. Stephenson, you're here for 2 years. We're here for a lifetime."
Yeah.
And I said,
I know.
I
Then do
said,
something.
yeah.
I was
And-
legislative chair for our trade group with 3,300 electrical contractors.
Yep.
And I'd do the same thing, and I'd be talking to a congressman or senator. I got the same thing. We're here for 2 years or 6 years. They're here for 20 or 30.
Yep.
And they laugh at us.
Yep.
We pushed our congressman in our area was John Boehner. We went to his first fundraiser, then the next fundraiser to settle his debt. And I told him every time, "Are you a crook yet? How long will it take you to be a crook?" I told him this flat out.
Right. Well,
And every time I meet him in D.C., I said, "All right, John, are you a crook yet?" Well, no, Tom, I'm not. Well, he was there long enough, you know.
well, as they say, it can taint the best of people.
Oh, yeah, they can.
But
It's
I like what Donald Trump when he picked Mike Pence to be vice president. I said right there, I said, this guy, there's more to him than meets the eye. If he is smart enough to pick Mike Pence, who's really a mild-mannered, just sort of the opposite,
He's the direct opposite, yeah.
direct opposite,
Yeah.
but he had a very honest man and a Christian man. And I said, That is a good sign.
You know what the only problem Trump's having, and he knows this, is he's an outsider.
Yeah.
And when he went there, he had to hire 4,000 people.
Oh, yeah, right.
In his tight administration.
Right.
He don't know those people. They're all Washington people.
That's right.
So he hired people on recommendation, and many of them were bad.
Yep.
Many of them are insider.
Yep.
They're the deep state.
Holdovers.
And they're holdovers, and they're in the administration, and
Yep.
he's got to weed them out.
That's right.
He's got to fire them. He's got to get rid of them. And
That's
it takes
right.
time.
You have to, it does take time, and it takes time to fill all those boards.
Yeah.
And let's face it, there's a massive bureaucracy there. Not
All
only,
we can say is God bless him and keep our country
that's
together.
right.
Keep him safe.
Keep him safe and keep the country together and keep moving forward. And I've been in this business of politics all my life, from being Commissioner of Motor Vehicles, Deputy Secretary of Transportation, was Congressman Breckenridge on the Office of Local Government in Washington as the Ombudsman, the last elected Superintendent of Education for the state of Kentucky. One thing I have learned, Bert Combs taught me, former governor and judge. He said, John, in that twangy Eastern Kentucky voice, the difference between a good governor and a bad governor is the good governor controls the fat cats, the bad governor is controlled by the fat cats. And he said there'll always be the fat cats. So you got to be ready and willing to control them. And he said that's what makes you a good governor. And then he said, and if anybody ever asks this question, how do you tell the difference between the two, the good governor and the bad governor? Check their bank account. If they're broke, they've been a good governor. If they're not, you got some problems.
That goes with any of them.
Yeah.
Look at these congressmen. They
I
make
know.
$174,000 a year.
Yeah.
They have to have 2 homes.
Yeah.
That's hard. And it's expensive
Yep.
in DC. You know that.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden they're in for so many years. They retire and they're worth $20 million.
Yeah, I just read
How does that work?
Joe Biden's son,
Hunter Biden.
17.5 billion. Billion. That's what it said. Now I might be wrong. It might have been million.
Even if it's billion, what did he do to deserve that?
I know.
He's a guy that got kicked out of the Navy. He's a drug.
That's right. And then the problem is here you're looking at a situation where you got quid pro quo, or whatever you want to call it. I told somebody the other day, I said, now they come up with this whistleblower. Is no more a whistleblower.
No.
I said, this is a political hack that is part of the deep state, and they've even released his attorney's tweets now that said,
Yeah.
this starts the coup for us.
Yeah, the coup. Yeah.
I said, oh, brother. Well, anyway, what we all have to do is humble ourselves, go to the Lord in prayer, and ask the good Lord to protect us and protect the country, and stand behind our servicemen and veterans, and be honest, and try to hold the government to honesty, and pray that Trump is able to straighten things out. One more term with his appointees to the court could make a big difference for 20 or 30 years.
Right. You know what scares me, though, John, is the young people, the college kids, the kids coming out of school, they're being brainwashed.
Yeah.
And that's our future. They're going to work their way up. They're going to be us someday. And look at what they think. This is what they know, is what they've been told.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Well, 90% of the contributions that political professors make on these major universities, 90% of them go to the Liberal Party, the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
But, even with that, we still, in this country, we've got to take seriously our votes, and
Yeah.
people have to go vote.
Yeah.
We got to get the average person out to vote and realize that it's just to protect our freedoms. God grants us our freedoms, but the soldiers and the first responders are the ones that keep it for us.
No doubt.
Well, God bless you, Tom.
John?
Nice to have you on Travels with the Stephenson's television show.
All right. Thank you, sir.
And thank you, ma'am.
Make us look good.
I'll make you look good. Take care. Bye-bye now.